Okay, so in our last time, we talked about the exponential graph equation, the growth equation, sorry, exponential growth equations, right? And I told you that I have a rule for the exponential growth equation, which is y equals to a1 plus r to the power of t. It is y equals a1 plus r to the power of t. And we agreed that the a, this a, stands for the initial value, and the r stands for the rate as a decimal, and the t, it stands for the time, right? T is getting represented by time. So I might have a time by hours, by minutes, by months, by years. So it's up to the time, okay? So one more time. It is y equals, you can hear my voice, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So as I'm just saying that y equals to a, just let me raise my voice somehow. Okay, y equals to a multiplied by 1 plus r to the power of t. That's the growth, okay? And we have a decay. The growth equation, by the way, if you have a graph, if you have a coordinate, like that's the x-axis, and this is the y-axis, so the growth equation is something like this. It's increasing, okay? So the decay equations is, again, one more time, if you have like this, that is the x-axis and that is the y-axis, the decay equation is exactly the same form, which is y equals to a1 minus r to the power of t. Okay, this time is decay. What does it mean, decay? It means that your function is going down. Is going down, okay? As an example, if I have y equals to 5 multiplied by 3 power x. Now, is this one is a growth or decay? The other one is y equals to 7 multiplied by 0.2 to the power of x. So which one is a growth? Which one is decay? The growth is the first one. This is the growth. It's increasing. And this is a decay. That's a decreasing, okay? So in the exponential equations, we don't have a negative for decreasing and positive for increasing. No, here I have, if the value is greater than 1, if the base, this one, is greater than 1, it's a growth. If the base is less than 1, it's a decay. Okay? So one more time. Again, what is this 5? What is this 7? This 5 and this 7, it's represented by the initial value. All right, the y-intercept, the initial value. This is the y-intercept, and this is the y-intercept. And the points itself, like this one, this 3, or this 0.2, the base that we have, if the base, this one is what we call the b. If the b is greater than 1, it's a growth. If the b is less than 1, it's what? It is a decay. Okay, is it okay till now? All right, and I guess we started solving some questions. I guess I started solving some of them. Did I open the file? Not yet. I guess we did solve 26. Let's try to solve 27. Okay, here, as you can see that he's saying to you that the club manager of a health club, the manager of the health club determines that the club's membership has increased at a rate of 60% per year. 16% per year, okay? For the past 4 years. The club currently has 42 members. If this trend continues, how many years will it take for the club members to exceed 100 members? All right, what does it mean exceed?
Reach.
Or they pass through, like over, okay? Exceed means that over the 100. Okay, so first of all, do I have a linear equation or do I have an exponential equation? I explained to you this, okay? Is the rate is going to be constant, or is the rate is going to be not constant? Here is going to be exponential. Obviously, it's exponential, okay? So this is exponential equation. Why it's exponential equation? Because he's saying to you that every year it's 16% more than the previous year, okay? So every year it's going to be different because the 16% depends on the previous year, okay? So what we're going to say, we're going to say this, the equation is going to be y equals to a 1 plus, it's a growth, obviously growth because the numbers are increasing, 1 plus r to the power of t, all right? Okay, what is the initial value? What is it started with? We started with 42 members. So y equals to 42 members. 1 plus rate. What is the rate? He told you this. The rate is 16%. R equals to 16%. If you're going to do it as a decimal, you say that it's going to be 0.16. All right, to the power of time, t. So basically, you have y equals to 42. 1 plus 0.16 is going to be 1.16 to the power of t. All right, now what I will try to do, I'll try to use the 5, 4, the 5, the 6, and 7. And I'll see which one is going to be with more than 100. So I'm going to say 42 multiplied by 1.16 to the power of 4. 42 multiplied by 1.16 power 5. 42 multiplied by 1.16 power 6. And 42 multiplied by 1.16 to the power of 7. And which one is going to be more than 100? I'm going to go with it. Let's try to see. Okay, so 42 multiplied by 1.16, 1.16 to the power of 4 equals, is it more than 100? No, 76. I will delete the 4, I will do it with 5. Is it more 100? No, it's 88. I will use 6. Is it more than 100? Yes, I do. Here it's actually 102. So basically they have to wait 6 years until they exceeded the 100 members. And the answer is C. Is it clear?
Mister, they gave us the 100. Why we didn't like put 100 equals to
Yes,
42?
you can. That's another way.
The
No, yeah, perfect.
16% alpha x shift solve. It's like more faster.
Faster, exactly. The concept right now, Naya, is not everyone knows how to use shift solve, but you can also use instead of y by 100, okay, instead of y, because he's asking for 100 members. So I'm going to use this, and I will use the shift solve concept, which is I'm going to write the equation. It's 100 equals 42, open a bracket, 1.16 to the power of x. Power of x. And then I'll shift solve equal. He's calculating and he's just going to say 5.8. So after you solve, you want to wait for 5.8, like 5 years and some months. So basically you want to wait for 6 years. You can also use this one, no problem. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Can you open the camera and then ask?
Oh, yes, sure.
And Naya, Usama, Yahya, please. Sana, nice slides you have.
Mister, just give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. But the perfect position is Radwa. Like, she's the best. Yeah, try to think that I'm gonna give you 2 lessons like this. Okay, like this, and you just can't see my hair like this. Huh? Is it okay? It's not okay. Okay, Tasneem, tell me the question.
Why do I, when I calculate, it gives me always any numbers that aren't the answer? When I put solve, shift solve, and then it gives me the wrong answer. What's the problem? Okay,
you have to press shift solve and equal. Mostly when you are pressing, you're pressing on only shift solve, you stop. Because listen, look, when you're using calculator, okay, look here. Now if I'm gonna say that I have an equation, Tasneem, look, I'm gonna say the equation is x plus 5 equals 7. Now, do you know what is the answer of this one?
2.
2. So if I press on shift solve, okay, look, if I press on shift solve, he's not going to give it to you 2. He's going to give it to you 5.8. Do you know why he will give it to you 5.8, but it's not 2?
The previous answer, right?
Exactly. This is the previous answer. So it's not enough to press only shift solve. You have to press shift solve and you press equal يا تسنيم. And this is when he's giving you the correct answer. So if you press only on shift solve, he will give it to you the previous answer, not this answer. So you have to press shift solve and equal so you can get the answer. Mostly you're forgetting the equal part.
يعني shift solve and then the equal sign.
Yes. It's not enough for shift solve.
Thank you.
Okay, more questions. Actually, you solve 29. Everyone, please try to solve 29.
They're asking for T right here. Did you hear what I said?
Say again.
No? Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
I'm saying they're asking for T here, right?
Somehow, yes.
Okay.
So now what's wrong with, is there anything wrong? Usama, طبعا, at least turn on the fan يعني. It's so hot.
Mr. We are in Iraq, there is no electricity.
You're in Iraq, no electricity. Okay. كان الله في العون. But it's okay if you are in Iraq to turn off the camera يعني. It's okay. For you, you have a special case. It's okay.
Okay.
Done? Anyone? Okay, Yalla, should I solve it with you? Can you show me your answers, what you have?
So he asked us about the rate here, right?
He's asking for not the rate, he's asking for how much is her monthly allowance. طب يلا, should I solve it with you? طيب, okay, so we have someone, her name is Pinapoli, whatever. Penelope? Is it her name Penelope? Penelope? Okay, whatever. I receive the same amount of money each month. So she's receiving the same amount of money every month. That's information that I have to understand, okay? Same amount every month. Each month she spends, this is important also, each month she spends half of her allowance and she puts the rest in a big account. Every month she's receiving amount. She's spending half and she's saving the half, okay? On her 8th birthday, the big account contains $40. If the big account contains 244 after 2 years, what is her monthly allowance? Okay, now, before I start solving, you have to ask yourself this lovely question. Do I have exponential equation or is it a linear equation? Every month, is it the same amount or is it different amount?
The same.
The same, obviously the same, yes? Because he's saying to you that we have the same amount every month. For example, let's say, I don't know, let's say that she's receiving $500, okay, as an example, okay? So half of it she's spending and half of it she's saving, okay? So as an example, every month she's going to save 250, 250, 250. It means that every month she's saving the same amount, which means that, it means what? It means that I have a linear. That's the most important part, is to identify, do I have a linear or do I have exponential? Because if I have an exponential, I have a form. If I have a linear, I have a different form, okay? So now, I have a linear equation. All right, so I have a linear equation. After I have a linear equation, after I know that I have a linear equation, what can I do? I'm going to do this. Listen, I'm going to do this, which is I'm going to say that he said in her 8th birthday, she had $40. So she had a $40. After 2 years, the amount becomes 244 in 2 years. Type these 2 years, yani how many months? 24 months. Yes. So in this 24 months, how much extra she added? So in 24 months, all right, she had an extra as what? As a $204, is it? Because she already have a 40 and now she had the 244. So how much extra? It's 204. That is in 24 months. Type, I want to find in 1 month, how much she's gonna do. In 1 month, she's divide 204 divided by 24. What is the answer?
8.5.
8.5. So what is the answer right now? I have 8.5. This is 8.5. That's the amount that she's saving. Yeah. So she is saving an 8.5. But he told me this. He told me that she's saving half every month. She spends half and she saved the rest in the account. Yes. So if she's putting 8.5 in account of bank, so she's spending again the same amount because she's saving 8.5. So the final answer is going to be she's receiving $17 monthly. I don't know what is this job, but $17. So not good, guy. Don't do this job. So what do we have? We have a $17 for her allowance. Again, let's try to understand one more time. She had the $17, okay? She spends half of it and she spent half of it and she's putting half of it in the account, in the bank. He told me this. Can you see the screen?
No, it's gone now.
Why it's gone? I will. Okay, wait. كيف يعني it's gone? Now, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Can you hear my voice?
It's loading. It's still loading. Now we can see it, yeah.
So one more time. I guess that's easy question, is it? Do you need me to re-explain it, or it's okay? I guess it's okay. Okay, nice. Okay, try your best with this 30. Muhammad, hi, you are late today.
I had a problem with the connection.
Okay, so is it fixed now?
I think so.
So it means open the camera then. Please. Now 10 minutes is being 20. No answers? يلا يا Muhammad, show me your answer. Tasneem, Sana, Naya. يلا, show me your answers. Muhammad, text me on WhatsApp. Show me how. Okay. Rodwa, show me how.
That's how I was thinking. I don't know if it's related to the question or not, but I just sent it.
Yani, 2% of the original to access the number of months, 3 years, 7 months. Okay, let me show you how it's gonna be done. First of all, you have to read the question carefully and you have to understand one by one, okay? So what he's saying to you that at a certain bank, money held in account X, so now I'm talking about account X, that earn monthly interest of equal 2% of the what? Of the original investment. That's X. While account Y earns monthly interest equals to 2% of the current value. Okay, so it's so huge difference between saying that I'm gonna take 2% of the original investment or between saying that I will take 2% of the current value. All right, so he's saying this, that 500 invested in each account. I have 500 invested in each account. What is the positive difference between the value account X and the value of account Y after how many years? After 3 years. Account X and account Y after 3 years. Okay, so first thing I have to understand that account X, okay, and account Y. Account X is a linear and account Y is an exponential. I don't know if you understand it. Did you understand that account X is a linear and account Y is exponential? Listen, guys, listen carefully. He's saying this. He's saying that account X earn 2% of the original investment. What does it mean, 2% of the original investment? He said that we invest a 500, okay? 500. So if I invest a 500 and I want to have 2% every month, okay? So at the first month, what is my, this is my original investment. All right? So I'm going to say 2% of the original investment, which is going to be, if you found it, it's going to be what? It's going to be a 10. So in the first month, I'm going to earn 10. In the second month, I'm going to earn 2% of the original investment, which is again 2% of the 500, which is going to be again, it's $10. In the third month, in the fourth month, in the sixth one, okay? So it's the same amount, which is what? It's a $10. That's why the account X is a linear account. So that's why I'm going to say Y is going to be equals, all right? The original value plus how much is they're going to earn in a month is going to be 10 multiplied by the number of months. All right. So how many months we have? We have 3 years. So the 3 years, if I want to convert them into months, I'm going to multiply 3 times 12, which is going to be 36. So the account X is going to be 500, the original investment plus 10 multiplied by 36. And I guess it's going to be, if you multiply 10 by 36, 360 plus 500 is going to be $860. That's what? That's only account X. I didn't finish because there is an account Y. I have to find the value of the account Y. But the account Y, what he's saying that I'm going to take 2% of what? Of the current value. And this is different because 2% of the current value, what does it mean? It means that in the first month we earn 10%, $10, yes? So I will take this $10 and I'm going to add them to the 500. So the current value right now, the current value is 510. So the second month, I'm not going to take 2% of the 500. No, I'm going to take 2% of the 510, which is going to be different. It's not going to be the same. That's why we said that the Y is exponential. And that's why I'm going to use Y equals to the original investment, 1 plus the rate, power, time. What is the original investment? It's a 500. 1 plus. What is the rate? The rate is 2%. I can say 0.02. Power T, which is power time. How many months we have? We have a 36. Now, use a calculator and let's try to find how much is going to be after 36 months. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 500, open a bracket, 1 plus 0.02, close the bracket, power 36. I'll press equal, so I have 1,019.9. So approximately, it's 1,020. So he's saying this, what is the positive difference? So I'm going to say 1,020 minus 860, and that's going to be the answer that you have. I'm just going to subtract 1,020 minus 860 is going to be 160.
Sir, he said if $500 is invested into each account, that means each account has $500.
Yeah.
So the total, the original amount is $1,000.
What you said? Say again.
So the total for the two accounts is $1,000.
Yeah, but
the original account.
Each account, I will deal with them as individually. The original account is not 1,000 because account X, I will deal with account X individually, and I will deal with account Y individually. I'm not going to account them together. So it's the original amount is not 1,000, it's 500. Because I will take 500, I will deal with the account X. I will this is like someone, and the account Y is someone else. Let's try to think like this. Okay, they are different accounts. I can't deal with them as a one account. Tamam? Okay, Yahya, why you close the camera? Yahya, stay with me. Are we good with this question or should I repeat it?
Can you repeat it?
Okay, real quick, I can repeat it. Tasneem, what he said we have account X and account Y. Do you understand why account X is a linear?
Because every year it's the same?
Every month is the same amount. He's saying that 2% of the original investment. He's gonna earn monthly interest, which is 2% every month. Okay, what is the original investment? It's a 500. Okay, that's an original investment. So if I have a 500 as an original investment, I will take 2% of the original, $10. The second month, I will take 2% of the original, which is same $10. The third month is going to be 2% of the original. So basically, every month, each month, I have a same rate.
But why don't we do? Since he said, why don't we do 102% for times 500?
102%?
Yeah, because he said of the current value. No,
current value is for the Y, account Y, not X. I'm talking about X. Now, each one, you have to deal with them individually at Tasneem. So we have account X, like someone. I will finish account X. I will find the answer of the account X. After I will finish, I will find the answer of the account Y. One by one, all right? Here, we found that account X is a linear. And as I can see that every month, I have $10 every month. How many months we have? 36. So $10 times 36, I have a 360, and the original investment was 500. So the total amount of money that I have in account X is 860. That's first. Okay, that's the first one. The exponential one, why it's exponential? Because it's saying to you that 2% of the current value. Sharing current value, it means that every time I'm earning money, I will take this money that I'm earned and I will take it to the original investment. Yani, in the first month, I have a $10. So I will take this $10, I will add it to the 500. So my current value is a 520. I will take 2% of the 520. So 2%, like 0.02 times 510 is going to be, so the second month I'm going to earn, I'm not going to earn $10. No, the second month I'm going to earn $10.2. Do you understand? That's for a second month. So the second month you can say it's 10.2. I will take this 10.2 and I will add it to the current account. So I have a total as a 520.2. And then I will find 2% of it. And then I will move on, keep it the same until I have a 36 months. But instead of doing all of that, we have a formula which is faster, easier, which is I'll take the original investments, which is 500, 1 plus the rate. All right, what is the rate? Is 0.02 and power 36. I found the answer as 1020, and this is it. We just subtract the values. The tricky part is to understand linear and exponential, and all of these are easy. Okay, let's try to do some more. If I have more, I will see if there is more. All right, we try to do most of these questions. Somehow challenging, so I didn't do this. Did I do 32? I didn't do it, yes?
We didn't do it.
Okay, have fun with this. Try your best. This is not related to any of proportional or exponential or anything. Try to do this expressions and show me your work. Yeah, it's easy question. Steam. This type of questions, we have no negative. If you have a negative answer, it means that you have a mistake.
Okay.
Sana, what he said, what is the answer here? What he said? I don't understand. And Naya, I can't remember the answer. I don't know what is the answer basically. Okay, let me solve it for you. This is an easy question. 18 over -3, so it's not. Then the answer is supposed to be a number, okay, not with the a's, not with the variables. All right, the expression above, a minus 3 squared equals 6. What is the value of the expression? All right, I have this expression, 3a plus 9 over a minus 3 square plus minus 9 over 3a minus 9. Okay, to solve this expression, to solve this question, actually, I'm trying to do something. I'll try to take a 3 as a common factor from this. Stay with me how I'll solve it. 3a plus 9 all over a minus 3 squared. I'm not going to touch it, okay? Plus, right, -9 up. If I took a 3 as a common factor from denominator, can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a 3 as a common factor. I'm going to say a minus 3 as a common factor. Now, can you tell me what is, if you divide the -9 with the 3, what is the answer of it? It's a -3. So 3a plus 9 over a minus 3 squared plus minus 3 over a minus 3. And now, what I'm trying to do, here I have an a minus 3 squared. What does it mean, a minus 3 squared? It means that a minus 3 multiplied by a minus 3. That what does it mean, a minus 3 squared? So I'm going to take a minus 3, I'm going to multiply it here and there. Okay? So I have a 3a plus 9 over a minus 3 squared plus minus 3a minus 3. And when you multiply a minus 3 times a minus 3, you have an a minus 3 squared. Are we good until now? Yes. Do I have a same denominator? Yes, I do, which is I'm going to say a minus 3 squared. Now, what I'm trying to do with the numerator, I will just try to do it like this. 3a plus 9, the same. I'm going to multiply the 3a, so it's going to be minus 3a, and it's going to be plus 9. 3a with the minus 3a is cancelled out, so you have a 9 plus 9, which is an 18 over, right, a minus 3 squared. What is it? Using this information, it's a 6. So 18 over 6, which is going to be equals to 3. And bingo. How was it? Was it easy? One more time. What we did. First of all, I took a 3 as a common factor. When I took a 3 as a common factor, I canceled the -9 with a 3. I have a -3 here. Then I tried to make the same denominator. I multiplied the a minus 3 up and down. And then I do have a same denominator right now. So I just add the numerators. I cancel the 3a with the minus 3a. I have an 18. And I just substitute the a minus 3 by its equivalent, which is 6. And there you are. One more. That's somehow harder. 33, somehow harder. Try your best. Correct, yeah, Muhammad. Nice. That's correct, yes, Anna. Perfect. Naya, incorrect. Show me what you did, Naya. Take a picture. Okay, should I solve it or trying? Yahya, where is your answer, Yahya? Salma, where is your answer? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna solve it. I'm gonna show you two different ways, but before I start, I need Sana, tell me how you solve the question. Sana, how you solve the question? I can't hear your voice. I can't hear your voice still. Can you hear me? Anyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
طيب, Sana, is it like mic problem? I can't hear you. It's not working. Try to fix it. Muhammad, tell me how you solve the question. I guess, Muhammad, you substituted, is it?
No.
You solve it by steps, one by one?
Yes.
Okay, I will show you how you solve the question right now. You can, first of all, I will take the denominator and I will evaluate, okay? I'm going to evaluate. Okay, what do I mean by this? He's saying to you that A is greater than what? A is greater than 6. A is greater than 6. So it means that I'm allowed to choose any value greater than 6. I'm going to choose a value, I'm going to go with A equals 10. Let's try to find it out. 2 over A over 1 over 10 minus 2, it's an 8, plus 1 over 4. Okay, so 2 over 10, it's 1 over 5. And 1 over 8 is the same, plus 1 over 4, I can say it's going to be 2 over 8. So 1 over 5 over 1 over 8 plus 2 over 8 is going to be 3 over 8. And now how can I solve it? I'm saying that 1 over 5 times 8 over 3, and the answer at the end is going to be 8 over 15. Okay, 8 over 15. Now let's try to find it out. Is it A? It will never be A. Why? Because 2 times 10 squared, which is 100, by the way, 10 squared, it's 100, minus 16 times 10 is 160, plus 24. Obviously, it's not going to be a fraction, so no. B also is not. Why? Because 10 multiplied by 2 times 10, it's a 20, minus 8. 20 minus 8, it's a 12, times 10, it's 120, so that's a mistake. All right, C might be an answer, by the way. A squared, 10 squared, it's 100. Minus 8 times 10, it's an 80, plus 12 over 10 squared, it's 100, minus 40. All right, 100 minus 80, it's a 20. 20 plus 12 is going to be 32. 32 over what? 32 over 60. If I divide up and down by 2, first of all, let's start with easy. By 2 by 2, it's going to be 16 over 30. One more time by 2, it's going to be 8 over 15. And it's exactly the same, so the answer is C. Okay? That's the easier part. That is the easier part, okay? That's the easier way to do a question. طيب.
Okay, can I choose any number of above 6?
Any number is going to be the same answer. But listen here, when you're choosing numbers, okay, try to choose a number that you are good with it. يعني, why I'm choosing 10? I'm choosing 10 because when I'm multiplying or I'm squaring the 10, I'm multiplying 4 times 10. It's so easy. Yes?
Yes.
And it's okay even if you choose 7, if you choose 8, it's okay. But I'm going to go with A equals to 8 or 9 or like, it's going to be harder to deal with, especially with no calculator. If you have a calculator, if it's a calculator allowed, use whatever you want. Okay?
Okay.
Easy way or not? There is another way. I can solve it in a different way. I'm going to show you how you do it a different way. Okay? All right. That was the question. Yes. 2 over a multiplied by divided by 1 over a minus 2. First of all, I will take the denominator and I will try to fix it. What do I mean? I will take the denominator, I will try to fix it. I will show you. I'm going to take 1 over a minus 2 plus 1 over a minus 6, and I will try to fix it. This way is the longer way, okay? So I'm going to multiply a minus 6 here, and I'm going to multiply a minus 2 there. So a minus 6 with the numerator and denominator. A minus 2 with the numerator and with denominator. So I'm going to have, if you multiply a minus 6 by 1, just going to be a minus 6. A minus 2 times a minus 6 is going to be a minus 2 by a minus 6. Plus a minus 2 times 1, it's a minus 2 over a minus 2 multiplied by a minus 6. All right? So what is going to be here? It's going to be, denominators are the same. Yes, they are the same. A minus 2, a minus 6. And now the numerator is going to be a minus 6 plus a minus 2. A plus a is going to be 2a. Minus 6 minus 2 is going to be minus 8. All over a minus 2. Wait a minute. Can I multiply the a minus 2? Like it's going to be a squared. A times minus 6 is going to be minus 6a. 2 times a is going to be minus 2a. And minus 2 times minus 6 is going to be minus 12 or plus 12. So at the end, I'm going to have, I will take a common factor as a 2 from the numerator. I have an a minus 4 all over a squared minus 6 minus 2. It's going to be minus 8a and then plus 12. Okay, all of that is the denominator. Okay, so all of that, I'm going to apply it instead of this. All right, so my question was 2 over a over the denominator. And the denominator, I just found it to be 2 multiplied by a minus 4. 2 multiplied by a minus 4 over a, what was it? A squared minus, was it 8a? Yes, minus 8a plus 12. And now I know that when I have a fraction divided by a fraction, I'm going to say 2 over a. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of this. It's going to be a squared minus 8a plus 12 over 2 multiplied by a minus 4. What I'm going to do, the last step is I'm going to cancel the 2 with the 2. So I will have a squared minus 8a plus 12 over a multiplied by a minus 4. And this is the answer as C. Because if you multiply the a inside in here, at the end, you can multiply a inside, you get the same answer. But this is a longer way. You see, it's so long. The substitution concept, it's easier. Is it?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Can we take it back to the previous question? I just want to make sure of something.
Can I what?
Return back to the previous question.
This one?
Yes, just I want to make sure of something.
Done? Okay, let's take a 10 minutes break and we're back. Okay, now it's a 40. I'll back at 50. 10 minutes break, we're back. Back. Guys?
Yes.
Yeah, let's start. And everyone, are you here? Yeah, I want you to focus right now with me because I'm going to start with a new chapter. Chapter number 7. It's about functions. So everyone is here. Radwa, Yahya, Muhammad, Sama. Yeah. Chapter 7. Okay, chapter 7. It's the name of the chapter is functions. The name of the chapter is functions. All right. Right now, the only thing that you have to know that when I'm talking about the functions, I mean by saying functions, usually I used to say y equals to 2x plus 1 as an example. Yeah. But now I'm not going to say y equals to 2x plus 1. Now we're going to just say instead of y, fx. Okay. You deal with the functions a lot previously, but now just this is a name of the chapter. Right? Like this is official chapter. All right. So again, now we don't have any of the y's anymore. I don't have a y anymore. I have fx instead of y. Okay. So I have an fx instead of y. Okay. So sometimes, as an example, like this is fx equals 2x plus 1. Sometimes it's going to ask you to find f of 3. What does it mean to find f of 3? It means that you want to take the value of x and you put it as a 3. So it means that you have to substitute x by 3. Okay, so you take the x in here and you substitute it by 3. So you say 2 times 3 plus 1, that is the f of 3. All right, so as an example here, the answer is going to be at the end 7. All right, sometimes it's going to say what is the value of x if you have an fx equals to, let's say, 9. Right? Now the value of x is not a 9. No, the value of fx is a 9. Yani, you take the fx, you put it as a 9, like this. 9 equals 2x plus 1. You take the one other side, so 9 minus 1 equals to 2x. As an example, it's going to be 8 equals 2x, and then x is equals to 4. Okay, so this is so important thing. The fx, right, or f of a value, you take the value and you put it instead of x. Take it as a general note. Whenever he's saying to you this, fa equal b, it means that the value of a is going to be stands for the value of x, or the value of your variable, and the b is going to be the value of fx. Okay, or we can say it's a y. Y of x, fx, they are exactly the same. That's so important concept. Okay, this is one of the most important concepts right now. Fa equals b, a it's for x, and b it's for fx or y. All right, now I'm going to talk about we have no space. Now I'm going to talk about the operations with functions. Right? What I'm saying, operation with functions. Okay, so the operation with functions. First of all, we have this. If you have two functions at the same time, fx it's equal to something, and I have a gx equals to something else, x squared minus 3 as an example. Okay, the idea of having operations, I mean by that, it's like adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Okay, So first of all, I'm talking about the adding. If I'm saying f plus g to a value of 2, whatever, okay? F plus g to a value of 2, basically what you will do, you just want to find the value of f2, and you want to find the value of g2. And I just told you how you find the value of f2 and how you find the value of g2. You go to f and you substitute instead of each x by a 2. So it's going to be 2 times 2 plus 1. That's what? That's the f of 2. Plus the g of 2, which is going to be 2 squared, is going to be 4 minus 3. So at the end, I have a 4 plus 1. It's a 5. 5 plus 1. So the final answer is going to be 6. Oh, yeah, 6. So this is the addition. Same for subtraction. If I have an f minus g to a value of something, 1. So what you will do, you just want to find the value of f1 minus the value of g1. Same thing for the multiplication. If you have a f multiplied by g for a value, let's say that is going to be a 0. You want to find the f of 0. You want to multiply it by a g of 0. Okay? All right, guys. Same again, exactly the same. If you have a division, if I have a division, I'm going to say 4. If I have an f over g to a value, let's say it's going to see 6. So I will say, what is the value of f6 and what is the value of g6? So the adding, the subtracting, the multiplying, and the dividing, they are exactly the same as you know. Just find each one individually and then try to substitute and find the answers at the end. And as always, if you want to find the answer, try to find the answer as simplest as you can. Okay, as simplest as you can. All right. In the functions, we have a fifth operation. We have a fifth one. You know, in general math, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But in functions, with functions, we have one more, which is what we called it, the composite of functions. All right. Stay with me for this. I don't know. I guess you know it. So what is the composite of functions? The composite of functions, it's basically when you have like, I'm going to order the functions. Yani, it's actually, first of all, the symbol of it as O. So when I'm saying F-O-G, here I mean by that, which one is going to be started first? I'll show you an example and you will understand it. F-O-G to a value of 3 as an example. All right? F-O-G to a value of 3. What does it mean, F-O-G to a value of 3? Basically, the F-O-G to a value of 3, it means that I'm going to start with start with G, find the value of G3, and wherever the value of the answer of G3, put it inside the F. So basically, the composite of functions is just you have to reorder the functions. Again, start with the first one on the right, and then put it in the second one. Let's try to find the value of G3. Let's go back to our function and try to find the G of 3. 3 squared, it's 9. 9 minus 3, what is it? It's a 6, is it? 9 minus 3, it's a 6. So I'm going to say this, F of G3. What is the G3? It's a 6. Now, what is the value of F6? Look, for G, what I used 3. But for F, what I'm going to use? I'm going to use the answer of the G. Do you understand? So F of 6, now just go back to the F and try to find the value of F6. So 2 times 6, 12 plus 1 is going to be 13. That's what we called it, a composite of functions, all right? So it's going to be, what we said, it's 13. I'm going to show you one more example. One more example about the composite of functions. Let's say that fx equals to 3x minus 1. Gx is equals to x squared plus 2. What is the value of f o g o f to the value of 1? All right, listen. Now here I have a composite of functions, but 3 times. What is it? 3 times. The first time is I will start with f. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find what is the value of f1. Okay? I'm going to find the value of f1. I will find the answer of f1, and then I will take it and will put it where? In G. Then the answer of I will get, I will take it, I will put it where? In the F. Okay, so let's try to find the value of F1 first. What is the value of F1? That's going to be 3 times 1. It's a 3. So 3 times 1 minus 1. 3 minus 1. And the final answer I will get is a 2. So what is my answer right now? It's a 2. Yes? So I will take this 2. Where I will put it? I will put it in G. So the second step, I'm going to say, what is the G of 2? I will go to the G. 2 squared. It's a 4 plus 2 squared plus 2. So the final answer, I have a 6. This 6 is the answer that I have to insert it again in F. So I will say F of 6, and the answer that I will get is my final answer. 3 times 6 minus 1, 18 minus 1, and the final answer is 70. I can write it like this: F O G O F of 1, or we can write it like this: F of 1, then G of it, then F of it. You see, like I'm going to start with the first one inside, find the answer and put it outside, find the answer and put it outside. That's what we called it, the composite of functions. Any problems? Any problems, ya Jamal?
No.
Easy, is it? It is an easy concept. I wish that you understand it. Now we have more things to talk about functions. I'm going to talk about the domain and the range. Domain and what? Domain and range. Okay. For the idea of domain and range, for the concept of having domain and range, what is the domain? What is the range? Just you have to understand as a beginning, the domain, it's all the X values. And the range is all the Y values. Or as we can say, it's their FX values, okay? Okay, what is the domain? What is the range? Basically, the domain and range, they are like, as a definition, the domain is the allowable values of X. Wait again. What is it? It's the allowable values. What do I mean by allowable values? Like sometimes when I'm going to give it to you a function, there are some values of X that you cannot use. As an example, if I said that fx equal to 3 over x plus 1, okay? Now, can I use all the values of X that I want? Yes, you can, but there is a value that I cannot use. There is a value that's going to make a problem to me. What is it? This value, it's, who knows what is this? What is the value that I have problem?
-1.
-1, that's correct, Muhammad. Exactly. So I can use X. I will say X can be any value I want, all right? Except of -1. Why except of a -1? Why cannot I use a -1? Because I'm going to have a problem. Look, if you use a -1 as an X, I'm going to say 3 over -1 plus 1. I'm going to have a 3 over 0. And you know this, I have a problem. I have an undefined case. Tamam? So again, what is my domain right now for this function? The domain is all the values, any value except of -1. So I'm going to teach you how we want to find the domain and how we want to find the range. We are lucky because the SAT questions about domain and range, it's only with the graphs. They will give it to a graph and you have to find the domain and range using that graph, okay? So you have to use the graph so you can find the domain and you can find the range from the graph, okay? Okay.
Number that we can't use changes from function to another.
Number,
Can you
yes, I can hear you. What you said, say again?
The number that we can't choose changes from function to another.
What do you mean changing from function to another? No, the idea of domain, they are the numbers that you cannot use because if you use it, it's going to be a problem. One more example to make sure that you understand well. If I have a function fx is equal to root of x plus 2, okay? You know that in real numbers, I cannot have negative roots. Do you know this or not? Like I don't know what is the answer of negative root of -2 as an example, or root of -4. I'm talking about the real numbers, okay? I'm not talking about the complex numbers. Okay, so if I cannot use a complex or negative numbers, what are the values that I cannot use? I'm gonna say the domain right now. Who knows? What is the domain right now?
All real numbers except x less than -3.
I'm gonna say any number greater than or even equals to -2. Any number greater than or equals to -2, I'm gonna go okay with it. But any number less than -2, I'm not going to be okay with it. Why? Let's say that you will choose any number less than -2. Okay, look at Tasneem. Choose any number less than -2 here. I'm gonna go with -3 as an example. Okay, so root of -3 plus 2. -3 plus 2, what is it? It's a root of -1, and that's a problem. If you choose more negative, like you choose -4, -5, -6, -7, any less than -2, let's say that you're going to go with -5. So under the root, -5 plus 2. So you have a problem, which is -3. You see, I have a problem. I cannot have a negatives. But what if I choose any number greater than -2? Let's say that you're going to choose a -1. Okay, if you choose -1, no problem. Root of -1 plus 2. And the answer is root of 1, and that's okay. You see? You are never going to do this. I'm just now explaining to you how you will do it. I'm going to show you how you will do it, okay? In the SAT, how you will do it. But in general math, that's how you have to do it in general math. If you are a grade 12 or grade 11, you have to do it like algebraically. But in the SAT, we just have graphing. Okay, let me show you what do I mean by graphing. Okay, that's why I'm just trying to write using the pencil of the Zoom. Okay, now I'm gonna have these as a coordinate. Stay with me for a minute. This is so important. Okay, now what if I have an x-axis like this? I have a y-axis like this, and you know that instead of y, you can have a fx, no problem. And what if I have a function like somehow, I don't know. Okay, like this. I didn't like it. Yani, somehow good. So now the question is here is, what is the domain and range? Everyone, please drop your pen and give me your eyes. Please stay with me. What is the domain and range for this function? Okay, I told you if you're gonna find the domain and range, okay? One more time, what was the domain? The domain, it was values of x, and the range, it was the values of y. Okay, now, if you want to find the domain, try to imagine that I have a line, it is parallel to the y-axis like this. Okay, listen carefully. Try to imagine that I have a line that is parallel to the y-axis. And now, mentally, try to move this line over all the values of x. Now, who knows what is this equation? What is the equation of this line? What is the equation of this line?
Y equals
X equals to?
X equals a value.
X equals to a value, which is right now, it's a 2. Okay, so now this is x equals 2. If you move it to the right, it's going to be x equals to 3, x equals to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You understand? So that's x equals 1. That's x equals 0. That's x equals -1. X equals -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, now mentally try to move this line over the x-axis, all over the x-axis, and try to find a point with no intersection. Look, now with this, which is x equals 2, do I have an intersection? What do I mean by intersection? Like your line, the green line and the red line. Do I have an intersection? Yes, I do. Okay, again, try to move this line over the whole x-axis. Do you have any point with no intersection? The answer is no. You say, Mr. What about this one? Actually, this one is going to be intersected because this line, okay, this graph is going to be more, like it's going to be like, do you see? It's going to go up. It's going to go up and left, so they will be intersect. Do you understand? They're going to be intersected. So do you have any point on the X with no intersection? I guess you don't, because if you took, again, if you want to take the domain, if you want to find the domain, try to draw parallel line to the y-axis, and then ask yourself this question: do I have any point with no intersection? The answer is no. It means that the domain is all real numbers. There is no exceptions. All real numbers, I can take them, all of them, because all of them with the intersection. That's for the domain. If you want to find the range, you will do the opposite, which is try to draw parallel line to what this time? To the x-axis this time. Let's try to draw a parallel line to the x-axis like this. And now, try to do the same. Now, who knows what is this equation? This equation is actually 1, 2, 3. So this equation y equals to -3. Yes? Do I have an intersection with the red line? No, it's obviously not. The question is, am I going to have an intersection? No, because actually, obviously, that the graph that I have, it stops at a point and then it goes up. Will never go down. Do you understand? So, do I have an intersection here? No. What about the -2? Still not. -1, still not. 0, not. 1 is not. 2, we started with the intersection. Yes? So, put it in your mind that you started with y equals 2. All right? What about 3? Yes. 4, yes. 5, yes. 6, yes. Anything more than 2 is yes. So, I'm going to say that right now, the range is going to be any value greater than or equals to 2. I'm going to give you one more example so I can make sure that you understand everything well. Just let me clear everything. Because with this, I can draw lines, and I need lines, by the way. So, all right, now, one more time. I'm going to try to draw a graph, and I want to see the domain and range, okay? Okay, so I have this as x-axis, y-axis, and I'm going to see this. 1, 2, 3, okay? Before I start, who knows what is this equation? This form, it's what? Who knows? مين البطل اللي ممكن يعرفه؟ What is this function?
Logarithm.
Logarithm with 2 parts, sir.
Square root.
Thank you, Muhammad. MashaAllah alayk. Yes, it is the square root. This is the square root of, as an example, x plus 3. That's the square root of x plus 3, exactly. Type. Never mind about the function. Now, my question is about find the domain and the range. Okay, one more time. I told you, if you want to find the domain, what you will do, you want to try to draw a parallel line to what? Parallel line to the x-axis like this. And try to think that you have to move this line over the entire x-axis and try to see where is the intersection. Okay, obviously that there is an intersection, all of these. At -1 I have, at -2 I have, at -3 I have, but I will stop at -3 because at -4 I'm not going to have, and I will not going to have. Okay, I don't have, and I'm not going to have. So at -3 I don't have, or I do have an intersection, but at -4 I don't. So I'm going to say right now, my domain, it has to be greater than or equals to -3. Why greater than or equals to -3? Because -3 there is an intersection, -2 there is, -1 there is, 0 there is, and 1, 2, 3, all of them there is intersections. Do you understand? That's how you have to find the domain and the range, guys. This is so easy if you try to understand. Okay, what about the range then? The range is just try to draw a parallel line to the x-axis this time. Okay, I don't need this. And try to move this line. Try to move this line over the entire of the y-axis. And try to see where is the intersections. I don't have intersection until I have with the 0. Yes? The 0 actually, y equals 0. This line, I don't know if you know it. This line, it's y equals to a 0. So with a 0 point and anything more than 0, there is an intersection. Okay. Even if you can't see it, like now, I can't see the intersection, but there is gonna be intersection because this line or this graph is gonna be go more and more, and it's going to be intersection. There will be intersection. So that's how you try to find the domain and range. So what I'm gonna say the range is gonna be greater the values, anything greater than or equals to a 0. Type. I'm gonna show you something, and I don't know if you're going to like it or not. You have to like it, yani, because I'm gonna show it to you. What if I have this? What's gonna be different?
Those equal.
That's it. Exactly. Now I did what? I used an open circle. The open circle, it means that this like specific point, I'm not going to take it with me. What does it mean? It means that the domain is going to be greater than a -3. It's not equal to -3 because it's an open circle, and the range is going to be greater than 0 and not going to be equal to 0 because it's an open circle again. Okay?
It's going to be greater than 3 and
Greater than -3, yes. Because what do I mean by this? Tasneem, when you draw a parallel line to the x-axis like this, now, do I have an intersection at -2? Yes. At -1, yes. Do I have intersection at -3? No.
no,
Because there is an open circle, okay? So at -3, there is no intersection, but maybe at -2.9, there is. Do you understand? -3 is not, but -2.9, there is. So that's why I'm saying greater than -3. Meaning anything greater than -3, maybe -2.999, there is an intersection. But -3 itself, no, with no intersection.
okay, thank you.
Okay, ya Jama'ah? Do you like it? I wish that you understand this. This is so important to understand, and if you understand it, it means that you're being good. Yani. How many minutes left? Okay, 6 minutes. We can explain something in this six minutes. We have also in functions, we have a function type. It's what we called, I have something called piecewise function. Right? What is it? We called it a piecewise function. What is this piecewise function? I'm going to show you. What do I mean by a piecewise function? Okay, stay with me for a minute, please. It is so easy concept. It's easy one, all right? Let me hide this. Do you see any gray screen or something, or is it clear?
It's clear.
Okay, nice. All right. So now that we have something called the piecewise function, which is I have a function, okay, but with many different values. Yani maybe the function I'm going to use as an x plus 1. Maybe I'm going to use it as a 3x minus 7. Maybe I'm going to use it as an x squared minus 1. Maybe I'm going to use it as a square root of x. Okay, so in the same name of the function fx, but we have many different values. Okay, how can I decide which one I'm going to use? It depends on the value of x. Yani, I will use x plus 1 if the value of x is less than, maybe for example, okay, I'm giving you examples now. If the value of x is less than -7, All right. And then use the second one if the value of x is greater than or equals to -7 and less than -2. Use this if you have the value of x is greater than or equals to -2 and less than 5. And use the last one if the value of x is greater than or equals to 5. All of that are examples from my mind, okay? They might be changed. They might change it. Just a second. Okay. All right. Now, for example, I'm having this, and he's asking what is the value of f of 2. What is the value of f of 2? All right. To find the value of f of 2 right now, first thing I'm gonna do is I have to decide which of the 4 I'm gonna use. Yani, I'm gonna say what is the value of x that I have? The x value is 2. So the 2 belongs first, second, third, or fourth. Is the 2 less than -7? No. Is the 2 in between -2 and -7? No. Is the 2 in between -2 and 5? Yes. So basically I have to use this. So I'm gonna say I will use this x squared minus 1, and instead of x by 2, it's gonna be 2 squared minus 1, and the final answer is a 4 minus 1, and that's gonna be 3. Okay. اوكي نعستوا صح؟ انا بالعاده بيكون عندي وينر في كل سيشن، يعني مين بينام اول واحد، هذا هو الوينر. فالحمد لله بلشنا، يعني لو ناخذ نص ساعه زياده نبلش. عندك الكومبيتيشن هلا بين نايا وبين رضوى، يعني ان شاء الله تعالى على الفيرست بليس، يعني نشوف لاخر الحصه نشوف مين اللي يطلع الاول. والباقي ناموا خلاص، الباقي راحوا، الفيديوز راحت. طيب. Yeah, just that's somehow a break. So what is the value of f of, let's try to find the value of f of 9. Again, when I have a value of f of 9, I need to find the 9, it belongs to where? Is it the first, second, third, or fourth? Okay, I guess the 9, it belongs to the last one because 9 is greater than 5. This is what we call the piecewise function. He's going to give it to you one function with multi-values, and you have to decide in which one you will evaluate. Depends on what? Depends on the value of x that he will give it to you. So I'm going to use the last one. So I'm going to use the root of x. So it's going to be root of 9, and the answer is a 3. Okay. Okay. No more minutes left. I'm not going to give it to you anything or any homework. This is it for today. I want you just to study this. Okay. I'm going to send to you the files. I will try to upload these files that I'm writing with you, so you can study them during the weekend. See you next Monday. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Thank you. See you. Assalamu alaikum.